What's going on, guys? It's Brandon, or teslaflex, and right here I have my Tesla Model 3 Performance, and in this video I'll be doing something that I wanted to do to a Tesla for the last few years, and that is upgrading my headliner from the standard fabric material to the black Alcantara, similar to the Model S and Model X. So in this video I will be showing you the process of taking apart all the pieces, shipping them off to my friends at Milky Way Interiors, where they will show you the process of reupholstering everything and then shipping it back to me for me to reinstall my Model 3. And from there, I'll give my final impressions. So let's get into it. Before I start taking all the headliner pieces out, I just want to quickly go over exactly what is being upgraded in the Model 3. So starting here, we have the A-pillar trim. So these just pop out pretty easily and they will just be bubble wrapped and put in the box. This right here is actually the biggest piece, which is why I have such a large box for it. And it just comes right out as well. I'll also be taking the sun visors off, and the plastics will be painted black as well. So I have to take every single one of these plastics that I want painted out. And then I also get these back C-pillar areas and the B-pillars right here. And that's pretty much it. There's really not much else I have to take out. Thankfully, the Model 3 is a pretty small car, so there's not very much extra space. Like the Model Y would have a way larger piece to take out, and I don't actually think I'll do it on my Model Y because it's a lease. But the Model 3, I'm financing it, I'm gonna own it, so I figured why not upgrade it to be even better and just kind of change the whole vibe of the car, because I really do like how it looks in some of the very few Highland performances and Model 3s that I've seen with the black headliner. So let's head over to my garage and start taking this apart piece by piece. All right, we're here now in my garage. I'm going to start by taking off the A-pillar pieces, so let's hop in and do that real quick. Before we can take the first A-pillar off, we have to remove this piece right here on the side of the center console, which just pops out like this. And now I have this removed. So starting with the A-pillar pieces, it's actually really easy to do this by hand instead of having to use a pry tool. So all you need to do is actually pull back this seal a little bit, and from here you can access the A-pillar piece. And then it's literally just held on by clips. And now that I have the A-pillar piece loosened, I can easily pull this out just like this. Now that we've gotten this loosened up a little bit more, I do have to take out this right here. So I have this metal pry tool that I'll use, and I just pull on both sides to push the clip in. And then on the other side, which you can't see, but it's basically just the same thing, you push that in to loosen that clip and pull it out. And now this piece just comes right out. We can set this aside, and now we're gonna repeat this on the other side. All right, so we have both the A-pillar pieces done right now. So we're actually gonna move to the back over here to remove the back two pieces, and then move on to the middle area. All right, so similar to the front there, you just pull the seal back a little bit, and you can unclip this. And again, there is another one of these clips. It's pretty well hidden, but if you look up here, you can kind of see it's right here, and I'm just gonna remove that real quick before I can actually pull this off. All right, I just undid the clip, so all I have to do is remove one of the last clips back here. And actually, I lied. There's two of these little clips right here that I have to remove. So I'll just do that real quick. We can see right up here. I don't know if you can get a good angle, but just push that down slightly. Be very careful around the airbag. Let me actually double check real quick, because if you look closely, we have an airbag right here, so I don't want to poke anything that doesn't need to be poked and potentially pop anything. So right here we can see we will push this down, and then I'll get my other finger, get it lined up if I can, and then push that inward and pull. And now I can just easily pull this out. Should just pop right out like this. And there we have it. We got the first part of the B-pillar, or the C-pillar, I think it's called, taken out. So we'll set this aside and move on to the next one. All right, next up we're gonna do the B-pillars, which are actually a little bit harder than they look, because if you look over here, we've already done this side. You have to remove this from the actual seat, which is a little bit complicated, but essentially to remove this, you grab right here. Uh-oh, got some blood right there. Pull this back, and then you can just unclip it. And the clips are very strong. And then same thing on the other side. I'll just climb out here, remove this trim a little bit, and then I can just pop the clips again. And now I pull this down. I actually have to pull here too, because they're clipped on to the black material here. And then if you look in here, if I can get a good angle, it's actually clipped in right here and here, so I'll have to remove it from this side. That's why you have to pull it back a little bit further, because you actually have to essentially push this inward a bit to unclip it. And I just broke a clip, but who cares? Put this aside, and now for the hard part, grab this tool and we will take the seatbelt off. All right, so to remove this, you first need to take this apart. So I get the back side of this little pry tool, maybe even push it in slightly. It is some very thin rubbery plastic, so you don't want to damage it. Kind of start wedging it apart, push this down, and now we can kind of get it wedged apart. It's very fragile. You can see little by little, I'm getting this opened up. All right, so we're open. Now this was the part I struggled with for quite a while actually, but we have it apart now. So to remove the seatbelt, you are removing this from this. So the trick is to actually get this pushed all the way up as far as you possibly can, and then there's this little metal piece that you have to first push down a little bit, and then it should just spin. But I'm even noticing this now. I didn't have it pushed up far enough. So you gotta push it all the way back. And then you'll notice I can press the seatbelt down a little bit. So the trick is you have to have this pushed all the way down. Otherwise, it's really hard to get it out. I think that's what I was struggling with when I was first trying to remove this. Because now, when this is pressed all the way back, I can start to loosen this up, and as you can see, I'm able to push it over like that. And now I can simply pull this off. And there we have it. We have this piece removed. You know, so literally blood, sweat, and tears to do this, but definitely worth it. So we can just pull this out. And here we go. We have the B-pillar out. All right, so now to do the main area, probably the hardest part to remove, I have to first loosen the seals on all sides. So I just got this whole side done. Come over to this side, do the same thing. Just pull the seal down, loosen it a little bit. And then same thing in here, just pull this down. That way it'll be a lot easier to remove this, because if you look inside, it's the biggest piece of headliner in the car. It's the reason why the box needs to be so big. So we're gonna hop in now, and I believe most of this is just held on by clips, so it's really just getting it done in the right way. And now onto the sun visors, which I believe are also mostly held on by clips. I know there are some screws, but these just pop out, the little rubber protectors. And then this should also just pop out, I believe. Hopefully I don't break anything. And okay. Yep, so these are also just clips. Everything is clips in a Tesla. But I believe this, yeah, there's actually a screw in here, and I have a thing for that. I'll have to grab my Model Y. And then I'll do the other side right here. As you can see, I'll just push this back, push right up in here, and it pops right out. And then right here, you know, pops right out as well. So I'll grab the screwdriver that I need to get this all taken out. All right, I just got my Torx T20, and all I have to do is unscrew this, and the headliner should probably just fall out. Don't want to lose this screw, so I'm actually just gonna put it in my cup holder with other things. And now, I think, yeah, it just kind of comes right out. And then there's one more step that I didn't even think about. Let me find where this is clipped in. There we go, unplugged. So these will also be sent off because they're going to reupholster and paint these plastics as well. So it'd be pretty cool to see what this looks like when it's done. So let's move on to the other side. Same process right here. Just get the T20 aligned. There we go. And then loosen it. Cut the screw, put that aside, slide right out. We got this cable. Boom. All right, now that I have the sun visors, the emergency shifter, all this is taken off. The whole front should be a lot easier to remove. Should just be held on my clips. So I'm already feeling it has a lot of give. So I'm just gonna find the clip locations, which seem to be right up here. I also want to be very careful because there are airbags. So let's see, we got some clips right up here, some clips up here. This is a good time to use my pry tool. Get my fingers under there. There we go. First major clip. And it looks like the front is not really held on by that too many clips. I definitely feel one like right here. Yep. And then another one right here. And it really feels like I'm breaking this car. Okay, let me hop to the other side. It's like a chiropractor for a car. So we got a clip right here. And now, there we go. Another clip right here, it seems. Boom. It's actually coming out a lot easier than I thought. I should be able to just get on this side. Here, I'll actually go ahead and remove this real quick. Push this through. There we go. Got this off, no damage. And I'm actually gonna do this on the other side real quick. Use this to pop it out a little bit. Okay, so we have the whole front essentially loosened. I know there's not many clips right here. I've almost taken this off right here before. Now, so we've got those clips. Push that back in. Definitely a clip right here. I can really, yeah. I can see my window tint. Then we got a clip right here. Come on. Liking that noise, okay. I think I have all the clips off. It's probably just a little tense in this area. Yeah, it looks like it's just getting caught on a few things. But I just want to be really careful around the airbags. There actually is one more clip right here. Or maybe not even a clip, just guess what we have. Another one of these, I'm not gonna say it on camera, another one of these clips. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that off camera real quick, and I'll get back to you when I have this ready to pull off completely. All right, so we basically have this all the way off. It's looking kind of weird in here. There's one final thing holding this on. So there is a tiny little screw up in here that I have to undo that's basically screwing this onto the panel. It's very weird angle, but there's a tiny little piece of fabric that just holds this on, and instead of taking the little clip off, I'm just gonna unscrew this. You know, I might regret this when I'm putting it back on, but you know, whatever works, works. So it looks like we have it off, and there we go. So we have all of this off now. I think I should just be able to get it out somehow. I'm actually not sure how they get it in the first place. I have yet another wire. Easy clip to remove. Let me get that. I got this wire removed. I forgot that there's stuff on this headliner. Dumb. So now, all I really have to do is get this lined up. I don't even know how they get this in the car. You know, I think it might be have more ability to get it out from the front. So I'm gonna try that. Gosh, gotta get it lifted over here. All right. Get that over the last hump, which probably would have been easier if the seats were down, but whatever. I'm gonna go to the other side. There's no steering wheel in the way. Slide it down, and then I can start to kind of wedge it out of the car. Let's see. There we go. And we have officially removed the last piece of the headliner. I'll put this in the trunk real quick. We can look through everything, but here you can see I've got some bubble wrap in the trunk. I'm actually now realizing this isn't gonna fit in the trunk, so I'm just gonna set it up here like that. But if you look inside right here, you'll see there is no headliner left. You can also see the curtain airbags, which looks kind of cool to see uncovered and everything. But obviously, I won't be driving this car for the next week or so, but got my Model Y right over there, so we're chilling. Don't have to worry about not having the car or anything. But I'll now take you guys over to Milky Way Interiors, where they're going to reupholster everything, paint the plastics, and changes for me, and then they'll send those pieces back, and I will reassemble the car. Hopefully it'll be a little bit less crazy as taking it apart because I'm putting it back together, but we'll see when we're back here.
What's going on, guys? I'm Antonio, and I'm gonna show you guys today with teslaflex's pieces, our whole blackout process, and how you guys can get this done for yourself. So the way that he sent me these pieces was in this big TV box that he got at U-Haul for like 40 bucks, and then he just sent them on over, and now they are in my possession. So we are gonna go through the whole process it takes for us to do our blackout service, and then talk about how you can get this done as well. Huge shout out to Brandon, teslaflex. Thank you so much for shipping out these pieces, man, all the way from Colorado. So Brandon is just showing everyone how easy it is to actually get this done from us. We are also in Tucson or Scottsdale, so whatever location is closer to you guys, we can do the whole service and take out the pieces as well. So you just let us know. You guys can give us a call at any time to get the service booked, whether it's you shipping us out the pieces and then we're gonna ship them back to you, or you just come in and get it done in the store. So just let us know, and yeah, let's get started on this process. So the first thing we really wanna do is just get all these pieces sanded off. And the step is pretty loud and it does get very messy, but it's by far the most important part because it gets rid of all the old material and the foam, so the pieces are just ready for that new material and it sticks very well. But as you guys can see, it's just really dirty in here now because that foam just gets everywhere in the shop. So if you are thinking of attempting this yourself, just get ready for a lot of mess. While he just finishes up scraping off like all the old foam of everything, we're just gonna get all of these pieces painted. And then these sun visors right here, has a little plastics on it that we're also going to paint, but there's a reason that the sun visors take a little bit longer, and it's because we have to paint them and then do the wrap after we paint them. So everything gets done and then we have to do wiring inside of them. So it's a lot of work to get these sun visors done, and it's also a 360 piece, so you know for sure we do not rush that. So let's get these parts done and I'm going to show you guys what that's like. So we have one coat on this one, and then we have 2 coats on this one. So I'm just gonna keep lightly coating it until it all turns black like that. The next part of the process is getting the material cut out so that we can start laying it down and wrapping the pieces. So we have the material cut out to the same size of each pillar, and now we can just kind of go through one by one and wrap them. So we use an industrial grade heat resistant contact adhesive that works very well with all of the pieces that we need to convert with our non-stretchy suede. So whenever the foam makes contact to the piece, it is not going anywhere. So you really want to make sure that these are done carefully because having to go back on something like this really does suck. But while he finishes the pieces, I'm able to finish the painting so that all that's really left besides the sun visors is the headliner to reupholster. Everything does take some time, but everything comes out really nicely finished with all the edges super tight, and the adhesive that we use, the material will literally not go anywhere no matter how hot it is. And moving on to the headliner now, I'm not going to show you the entire process we do to get this done just because it would take way too long. We have to do the headliner in 6 different parts, all at angles, just because using these non-stretchy materials, it's pretty hard to work into those deep corners. Even if you are the best of the best, you will probably mess this one up every once in a while just because it is pretty tricky to get done. But once it's finally done, the finish is super nice, and I know a lot of installers are using stretchy materials, so just be warned that those are way lower quality and the materials will have memory to them and it will want to return to its original form. That's how you start having material issues. I even messed up the first attempt. It just happens, but I did get it looking perfect in the end, and you guys can tell by the video that the material has no distortion anywhere. It's consistent front to back, and that is only because we don't use any stretchy material at all for any of our projects. All of the pieces are done, besides the visors, of course, which we are going to send back separately in just a couple of days. For now, we're just going to bubble wrap these up and fit everything back in the box and get them over to Brandon to install. And you guys can go ahead and go to milkywayinteriors.com/Tesla to get a quote and pricing for all of this. Last but not least, we just want to thank you, Brandon, with teslaflex for this opportunity. It was a huge one for us, so we hope you enjoy your new interior.
All right, guys, it's been about a week and all of the trim pieces or the headliner pieces have arrived. So let's open the box up. All right, so we're opening up the box right now. And as you can see, we have everything nicely bubble wrapped and taped up. Here's the main headliner. We have the smaller pieces right here. And then the actual sun visors will be in a separate package because they take a little bit longer to do. I just undid the bubble wrap for our first piece. This is our new A-pillar. This looks incredible. Let's actually just hop in the car and see what this will look like. So right here we have the A-pillar. This will essentially just slide back in. I'm not gonna install it just yet, but as you can see, this looks so much different and looks so much better. It also has the same kind of like squishiness that the regular trim has, but it's darker, so it looks a lot better. And honestly, it does kind of match my little dash piece right here. So let's get to installing everything else. All right, guys, so I have my visors here now. As you can see, they've been completely reupholstered in the Alcantara. This piece has also been painted. Luckily, I kept these on just so nothing would really get on the mirror piece, so I can actually pull these off whenever. Or if I don't really like how these turned out, I can just buy the Model S ones because they're the exact same size and Alcantara. But I'll set these aside, and now we can actually get this open and start unwrapping each piece of the headliner. So I already unwrapped one of them for you guys just to kind of show what it looked like, and that was this one right here. We'll just get this out of the way. So this is one of our A pillars. Right here is a B pillar, and they made this really, really safe on the way back. Put a lot of bubble wrap on. And right here, like I said, is the B pillar. This piece has been painted. It looks stock. It looks really nice. And right here, I think we have another A pillar. Actually, no, this is a C pillar. Just the back piece. So far, these are all looking really good. We have another A-pillar piece. And shout out to Milky Way Interiors for really bubble wrapping this. Like, I sent it with like the bare minimum, and they sent it back with even more. This is the passenger side A-pillar, another C-pillar, and then the big piece. So we'll get these out of the way, and I'll wrap this off camera, and I'll get back to you guys when I have everything laid out. I just got everything out of the box, and I do want to mention, if you are doing this with Milky Way Interiors and you're shipping your parts, they actually offer shipping labels through them, which is cheaper than you bringing this directly to the UPS store and paying for it there. Mine was about double the price to ship it than it was for them to ship it back to me, just because there's different rates they have. And this is a TV box. I'll have all the stuff that you need linked in the description. They also tell you exactly what size you need for what your car is. We'll get this out of the way, get everything unwrapped, and we can get everything installed back in my Model 3. Okay, so we have the black headliner all here. Now you'll notice right here, this cannot be painted. So this really can't be painted because of the little hazard switch right here. But I have a solution, a temporary solution, until I can get a part from the new Model YL, which actually has a darker piece. I bought another one of these just off of eBay, and it should just pop in place. I wrapped it, so it's gonna match a lot better. Should still be functional. I just won't see the lights as easily, but I don't really use them anyway. So I'll just pop that out real quick, just so I can kind of see what it looks like before I put it in. So right here is the one I just took out, and here's the one I've done. I did wrap it. I'm not super happy with how I did, but it's whatever. But you can tell there's a pretty big difference. And I was mentioning that the Model YL has a different one, so it looks just like this, except it's darker. So if anyone in, I guess, the Asia market is watching this and is able to get this part, but from a Model YL that has the darker piece, let me know, hit me up with my email, and maybe I can get one of those from you guys. But this will be good for now, just as long as it doesn't stand out like this. But I think this looks a lot better. We are now gonna put our first piece in. So I have it with the front part facing forward. Now, all I have to do is open the door and then put the seats back. And I'm actually putting this in way easier than I took it out, because I didn't really do it right, but basically should just slide right in like this. There we go, one more piece to get through. Okay, now I got this, and I gotta clip it all back in. One thing I do need to remember to do is plug this cable over there in. And then I made a small mistake when I was taking this apart. I was supposed to leave the little coat hanger thingies on there, and then there's a little screw. So with these two screws, this is what I will unscrew to, or I'll screw this back in. That way it just pops right in. I didn't have to take all that apart, go through the whole process. It was so much easier. So we'll get this put back in, and I just have to get one more thing before I can actually snap it back in. So I'll get to that. All right, so we are going to get this in. It's actually a little bit annoying to get in, but it's also a very large piece. This is the hardest piece. So yeah, hold that like right there, Michael. Perfect. And now looks like we are lined up right here. Lined up right here. I'm hearing some clicks. I guess that would be the, oh, there we go. Well, this one's a little bit off. Ah! All right, so I got these front two clips in. It was actually a lot harder than I was thinking, but we have a clip right here, along the side, one right here, and then the visors will obviously hold the front a bit more up. Everything's lined up, and I can put the screws back in here real quick. Everything is clipping in back here. And holy crap, this already looks so good. But like I mentioned, these are a lot easier to put in than it was for me to take it out. All I have to do is get the screw in here. Should just go right in. And this screwed in. And now we're good. We'll go to the other side. All right, this one is the exact same. I use to push up a little bit, but there we go. Went right in this time. There we go. And I can push this little piece in and we're good. So now we can get the rest of the pieces, but this was the hardest piece by far, but it already looks so much better. All right, so this should just slide back in. I mean, I've already put this back in once. Here we go. The hardest part is making sure every single clip is in there, and looks like I have a broken clip, but that's all right. Who cares about one measly broken clip? I do have this little piece, so I will just pop it back in. All right. Here we go. Now we'll do the next side. Same deal on this side. This will just slide right in, just like that. And then I do have to get this one, I don't know what to call it, clip with a little fabric on it. Get this all lined up, clip it all in place. And now we've got the A-pillars on. You can kind of see it looks, I mean, it already looks so different. I really like how it looks. All right, we have the seatbelt pulled through. Now all I need to do is bring this back to the lower piece to get it clipped back in place. There we go. And one more clip. There we go. I should just be able to pop this all back into place. Putting the seatbelts back together is super easy. I just kind of snap this piece back together, and then of course you want to make sure everything's facing the right way. You can just clip this back in, and now seatbelt works just the same as it did before. Let's do the other side. All right, so I've got the seatbelt through here again. Same thing as the other side. Just gonna clip that completely. Now I'm going to clip this back in. I swear, the second side is always easier than the first side. There we go. All right, now I have this all lined up. The hardest part is the top right here. Just getting it lined up and then slamming the clips in. All right, so I have this part done. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing with this side seatbelt. So there's this piece back here that I initially had to push out. All I have to do is push this back in like that. All right, we are fully back together. Just gotta make sure it's all aligned right. Bring it down here, just clips right in. Just double check everything's lined up right. Clip in. All right, seatbelt is back to normal. Now we got two pieces left. I'm gonna grab those, and they're the C-pillar. Okay, so I actually lied. We have the C-pillars and then the visors. And the most important part, I'm gonna show you actually is, so there's this little piece on the end, and way here in the back, there is a little tiny slot that has to go into to make this fit right. And I've taken these out before, or done this, and I was taking apart my car one day. So we have these little fabric clip thingies, which are honestly so annoying to put back on. There we go. And then we got one more. All right, so we got those in there. Gotta line this up here in the back. And now I gotta find the holes for the clips. There we go. And then I hear this clip right back here. That clip in. Now let's get this clip in. I hear you, clip. Got this all back together now. Let's move on to the other side. All right, same thing for this side. We will just line it up. Again, starting with the back. There we go. Always want that to look good. And now, let's get that lined up. Get the two pieces in. Careful around the compressor. All right. All right. And this one is giving me way less trouble, of course. And we're good. All right, on to our last piece, the visors. I actually had to go back through and pull these through. It was kind of awkward, but we got them now. We will stick this up into here. And then just like how we took them out, but like the opposite, you just kind of hook that in there. And then it clips in. And now I have a screwdriver. Get this and screw it in. Now this will also hold the headliner in place. There we go. And then this black plastic cover can just pop right back over. And it is painted to match. If I can get this to go in, there we go. There we go. Got the visor in place. Now to this side, clip this in. Let's just double check the visor works. Oh yeah, we're chilling. Get this pushed back up in here into the headliner. Push it all the way in. And now with the screw again. There we go. And then just get this lined up and we're good. All right, guys, I got my Model 3 right here. So let's hop inside to check out the new black Alcantara headliner for the first time. So as you get inside, of course, the first thing you'll notice is that there's no more gray headliner. It's all black Alcantara now. This was made possible with Milky Way Interiors. They are in Scottsdale, Arizona, and they did an amazing job. They literally ripped off all of the old headliner, cut off all the extra stuff, and then they put on the new, still plushy black Alcantara. And honestly, I really like how it looks. It makes the whole car just look so much more premium. I love how it just extends all the way to the back and how all the lights and everything, all the plastics are painted as well. Really great touch. And if you guys have any questions about the installation process, let me know down in the comments. But let's go ahead and finish up this video real quick. So if you have any questions about the headliner install that I did, of course, leave me them down in the comments below. And if you want to check this out or maybe get this done for yourself, make sure to go to the website linked in the description below. Let them know that I sent you. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks again, guys, for watching. I'll see you in the next one.